dear friends, welcome to the fourth session of Historiography on our YouTube channel Padhai Se Dosti. In previous sessions of Historiography, we have already discussed about the concept of historiography, the research method used in historiography, okay. Then the tradition of historiography. We have also discussed about the modern historiography, four characteristics of modern historiography, okay. Then we have discussed about the origin of historiography or the development of this scientific perspective in Europe. We have also discussed about the different scholars, notable scholars who gave their participation or who gave their immense contribution to the field of historiography. Okay, so in previous video session we have already discussed about the Rene Descartes, Voltaire, then George William Friedrich Hegel and his concept about the dialectics. Okay, the study of history through dialectics. In today's video session, we are going to discuss about the few notable scholars who gave their contribution in historiography. The very first one is that Leopold von Ranke. He was in 1795 to 1886. Okay, so historiography of the 19th century was greatly influenced by thoughts of Leopold von Ranke of Berlin University. Remember, he is from Berlin University. Berlin is the capital of Germany. Okay, guys. So he is the German historian. He spoke about the critical method of a historical research. He put emphasis on utmost importance of information gathered through original documents. Okay, so he speak about the critical method of historical research. Remember these words. Okay, he just don't want to put any conclusion or any historical narrative based on any superficial information. So he he gave utmost importance for information gathered through original documents. Okay, not any fake documents or the any beliefs which people have in their mind. Okay, so he also stated that all types of documents associated with the historical events need to be examined with the greatest care. He believed that this method was possible to reach the historical truth. Okay, why he is saying that to handle the historical document with greatest care? Because they are the true documents, and if they are deteriorated, if they are lost, then it is a very difficult to retrieve such documents. Okay, एक बार वो नष्ट हो गए तो नष्ट हो जाते हैं, उसे हम बाद में रिट्राइव नहीं कर सकते। इसलिए हिस्टोरिकल डॉक्यूमेंट जो है वो अच्छे से प्रिजर्व करके रखने चाहिए म्यूजियम में। इसलिए म्यूजियम जो भी लोग चलाते हैं उसको, या जिनके भी अंडर उसका एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर रहता है, तो उनको एक म्यूजियम का एक अलग से साइंस होता है, उसमें उनका एजुकेशन होना चाहिए, तभी वो म्यूजियम में जॉब कर सकते हैं वो लोग। ओके, तो उसका भी एक अलग ब्रांच है। सो रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, he gave the immense importance to the original documents and the greatest care while handling such a historical documents. Okay, and by such a method he want that one should reach the historical truth. Okay, he criticized the imaginative narrative narration of history. What do you mean by this imaginative narration of history? It is exaggeration of history. Suppose any king have army of 20,000 soldiers, and if we are saying that that particular king has the army of 50,000 or 1 lakh, then it is a exaggeration of the particular situation. Suppose any particular king, suppose he fought the war and he killed 100 people or 100 soldiers, and if we are saying that he killed 1,000 soldiers, then it is exaggeration. Okay, सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं कि उस पर्टिकुलर हिस्टोरिकल इवेंट से हम ज़्यादा जुड़े हुए हैं या हमारी कम्युनिटी से वो रिलेटेड है, हम उसका कोई एग्जैजरेशन करें। ओके, जो सच है वो हमें नरेट करना चाहिए, ऐसा लियोपोल्ड वोन रैंके का मानना था। ओके, collection of his articles is published in two books entitled as the theory of practice of history, the theory and practice of history, and another one is the secret of the world history. So remember these two books. In these two books, the all writing or the articles and the lectures of this particular person, they are included. Okay, the next person is Karl Marx. He is in 1818 to 1883. Okay, in the latter half century of 19th century, a new school of thought arose, keeping in view the new thesis formulated by Karl Marx. Okay, he is in the latter half of 19th century. Okay, latter half means what? 1850 onwards. Okay, 1818 में जो उसका जन्म हुआ था, जब जन्म हुआ तब तो वो डायरेक्टली कोई थीसिस नहीं देगा, कुछ उसका एज होगा 25-30, उसके बाद ही उसने वो काम चालू किया होगा या उसने थीसिस प्रोपाउंड किया होगा. So that's why they are saying here the latter half of 19th century there was a new view related to history is formed by this Karl Marx in his thesis. Okay, according to Karl Marx, history was not only about the abstract ideas; it was about the living of people. Okay, or the living people. What he propounded in his thesis that history or the historiography is not only about the historical abstract ideas, not only about the chronology of history, not only about the facts of history, but also about the living people. how the life of people during that particular historical era, that also we have to study. That is propounded by Karl Marx in his thesis. ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप्स आर शेप्ड बाय द फंडामेंटल नीड्स। ओके, जो भी ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप होते हैं समाज के एक फैमिली में, मतलब कोई भी दो फैमिलीज में, दो अलग अलग कम्युनिटीज में, दो अलग अलग समाज में, दो अलग अलग राज्यों में, और वर्ल्ड के अलग अलग देशों में। सो ऑल दिस रिलेशनशिप शेप ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप, दे आर शेप्ड बाय फंडामेंटल नीड्स ऑफ पीपल एंड द ओनरशिप एज वेल एज द नेचर ऑफ प्रिवेलेंट मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन टू मीट दोज नीड्स। ओके, तो ये जो भी हमारी फंडामेंटल नीड्स होती है, ओके, जो भी फंडामेंटल नीड्स हर एक पर्सन की होती है, तो उसको फुलफिल करने के लिए जो भी ओनरशिप चाहिए किसी भी मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन की, वो पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटी में कितनी है, तो उसके ऊपर से ये रिलेशनशिप डेवलप होती है। सो बेस्ड ऑन दिस he gave the theory of class struggle, that he told that there are two class, one is haves and another one is have not. Haves means the people who have ample amount of resources to sustain their livelihood properly. Okay, and the have not, they are the people who came from very poor families and they don't have the proper amount of means of production or the resources to meet their fundamental needs. Okay, so they are have not. Okay, according to the this theory, the accessibility of these means of production to different strata of society may not be equal. Okay, so what is mean, there is a inequality in society in terms of economic condition, in terms of means of production, the ownership of means of production. Okay, so this inequality causes a division of a society into different classes and leading to the class struggle in society. Okay, according to Marx, human history is the history of class struggle, as the class that owns the means of production economically exploit the rest of the classes. Okay, जिसके पास भी ज्यादा वेल्थ है वो क्या करता है, जिनके पास वेल्थ नहीं है उनको एक्सप्लॉइट करता है, ऐसा इनका मानना था। क्योंकि जो भी कैपिटलिस्ट लोग है, सपोज किसी एक बंदा है, उसकी फैक्ट्री है, उसने जो भी प्रॉफिट कमाया दूसरी फैक्ट्री डाल दी, दोनों फैक्ट्री का जो भी प्रॉफिट आया और दो फैक्ट्रीज डाल दी, तो वो बंदा खुद ज्यादा से ज्यादा अमीर बनता गया, बाकी उसके जो वर्कर है वो पुअर ही रह गए, उनका ज्यादा इकोनॉमिक एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होता गया। जो भी इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट उस फैक्ट्री के प्रॉफिट से मिलने वाले थे, वो सिर्फ चंद मुट्ठी भर लोगों को मिलते हैं, ना कि पूरे वर्कर्स को मिलते हैं। ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई ही टोल्ड दैट the economic prosperity is came only in the hands of few people. Okay, but they exploit the rest of the classes, means the lower strata of society, the haves not. He told that haves, they are exploiting to the haves not. जो भी आहिरे वर्ग है वो नाहिरे वर्ग के जो लोग हैं उनको एक्सप्लॉइट करता है। सो ही रोट अ बुक नोन एज दास कैपिटल, a treatise written by him is most referred book all over the world. Okay, जितने भी लेबर यूनियन अभी काम कर रहे हैं पूरे वर्ल्ड में, दे ऑल आर बेस्ड ऑन द theory propounded by this Das Capital. Okay, this book is very respected book in all over the world if there is a class struggle between any two societies. Okay, so this is all about the Karl Marx. I hope guys it is clear to you. Let's move towards the annal schools of history. Okay, so what is this? It is a institution which developed by French historian to study the historiography properly. Okay, this is not owned by any particular historian. It is a group of historian. Okay, who established this annal school in France. At the onset of 20th century, a new school of historiography arose in France. What do you mean by this onset of the 20th century? It is the at the starting of 20th century. Okay, onset means what? On the start of that particular century. New school of historiography arose in France, which is known as Annal School. Annal schools gave a new direction to history writing. It was recognized now that history is not only about the political events, kings, great leaders, and accordingly the politics, diplomacy, and war, but also about the climate, local people, agriculture, trade, technology, means of communication, social divisions, and their collective psychology, etc. In historical times. Okay, the Annal Schools was started by French historians. As I have already told you, it is an institution started by many French historians. They came together and they established this Annal School to study the historiography properly. And so, guys, this Annal Schools, they focused on the history, which is also studying about the climate, local people, agriculture, trade, and technology of that particular historical era. Okay, so they believe that not only the political events, the leaders, and their politics, diplomacy, and war. We don't have to study only this thing. We also have to study the climate, local people, agriculture, technology, means of communication, social divisions, and their collective psychology. ये सारी चीजें हमको स्टडी करनी होती है जब भी हम हिस्टोग्राफी पढ़ते हैं, ऐसा इन हिस्टोरियंस का मानना था, और उन्होंने इकट्ठा के एनल स्कूल को एस्टेब्लिश किया था। आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू यू। देयर आर फ्यू वर्ड्स। पॉलिटिक्स मीन्स व्हाट एवर पॉलिटिकल events or the political rivalry during the that particular historical era is the politics. Diplomacy means what? It is a relation between two countries or two state or two kingdoms. आज भी हम देखते हैं ये जो डोकलाम का इशू चल रहा है, डोकलाम नहीं सॉरी, लद्दाख का जो भी गलवान वैली का इशू चल रहा है वहाँ पे जो भी इंडियन और चाइनीज अम्बेसिडर है वो एक दूसरे के साथ बैठ के डिप्लोमेसी करते हैं, राइट, कुछ बातचीत करते हैं और कोई इशू सॉल्व करने का प्रयास करते हैं. सो दैट इज अ डिप्लोमेसी. मीन्स व्हाट? देयर इज एम्बेसिडर ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर नेशन और किंगडम इन अनदर kingdom or another nation. So that is a diplomacy. So we don't only have to study about these political events, but we also have to study the different technology, communication skill, people, agriculture, and all these things. Okay. So this is all about the annal schools. Okay. Then the next one is feminist historiography. Feminist historiography means the restructuring of history from the perspective of women. Okay. The writing of Simon de Beauvoir or Beauvoir help in establishing the fundamentals of feminism. So remember this name. Pronunciation is a bit difficult. Remember the spelling. So he established the fundamentals of feminism. Feminism means what? The Srivad, the study of history from the perspective of women. Okay, she was a French woman. The feminist historiography emphasized on not only on the inclusion of women in history, but also on the rethinking of male-dominated perspective of history. It drove historical research to focus in depth on the various aspects of women's lives, such as their employment, their role in trade union, institution working for their cause, their family life, etc. In historical writing after 1990, women were portrayed as an important social, independent social class. Okay, so remember this about this feminist historiography. It is very simple. Just study of the history from perspective of women, or whatever history already written by male dominated perspective. We have to rethink about that male dominated perspective, and we also have to add the role of women to frame the history during that particular historical era. Suppose we are studying the medieval era, then in medieval era there are many women administrators like Razia Sultan, Ahilyabai Holkar, Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai. She is in modern historical era. But whatever example I have given to you, Rani Padmavati, Rani Karnavati, okay, they were during the medieval era. Rani Lakshmibai, Ahilyabai Holkar, okay, they were during the modern era. Okay, during the national movements in India, there was Sarojini Naidu, there were few revolutionary women like Pritilta Vaddedar. She worked with Surya Sen. Okay, so all these role of women we should have to uh, write in historical narrative whenever we are studying about the historiography. Okay, so all these things they comes under this historical feminist historiography. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. And this particular historiography it studies about the life of women, whether they are employed or not, what is the role of such a woman in trade union or the different trade activities, the institution which is working for the women. Okay, अलग अलग समाज सुधारक थे, उन्होंने एस्टेब्लिश की अलग अलग संस्थाएं थी जो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट या वुमेन अपलिफ्टमेंट के लिए काम कर रही थी, उनके बारे में पढ़ना, द फैमिली लाइफ ऑफ वुमेन. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स कम अंडर द फेमिनिस्ट हिस्टोरियोग्राफी. ओके, आफ्टर 1990 जितने भी हिस्टोरियोग्राफी के ऊपर बुक लिखे गए उसमें आपको एक सेपरेट चैप्टर मिलेगा जो कि वुमन एम्पावरमेंट या वुमन हिस्टोरिकल कंडीशंस के ऊपर लिखा गया हो. ओके, सो after 1990 women were portrayed as an independent social class in many books. So remember this thing, this is all about the feminist historiography. Okay, let's move towards another scholar, that is a Michael Foucault. He is from 1926 to 1984. The French historian of the 20th century, Michael Foucault, brought forth a new concept of historiography. He, in his book Archaeology of Knowledge, okay, argued that the prevailing practice of arranging the historical event in chronological order is not right. Okay, he drew attention to the fact that archaeology does not strive to reach the ultimate historical truth but attempts to explain various transition in the past. Okay, Foucault felt that explaining the transition in history is more important, and he called the method of his historical writing as a archaeology of knowledge. Remember this thing. So what he emphasized on, he emphasized on the historical truth based on the transition moments in history. What do you mean by this transition event? हिस्ट्री में अगर कोई ऐसी बड़ी इवेंट होती है जिसके वजह से हम हिस्ट्री को अलग अलग फेजेस में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं तो उसे हम ट्रांजिशन मोमेंट बोलते हैं. आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. The national movement in India during the War of Independence is divided into three phases: the moderate phase, the extremist phase, and Gandhian phase. What do you mean by moderate phase? जब भी इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस की स्थापना हुई थी तब जो भी उसके लीडर्स थे वो क्या करते थे, ब्रिटिश लोगों को कोई पत्र लिखते थे या कोई निवेदन लिखते थे, लेटर लिख के उनको उनके पास डिमांड करते कि हमको ये सहूलियत चाहिए, ये रिफॉर्म्स चाहिए, ओके। तो वो था मॉडरेट फेज। द पीपल दे जस्ट हैव टू राइट अ लेटर्स और द एनी अर्जी निवेदन टू द ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर्स, and they thought that we will get our right by this mean, okay. But there are extremists. They said that we should have to do hartal, dharna andolan, or the picketing of any illegal things ran by government, okay. Or we just have to boycott the government goods. We just have to boycott the government education system. So that is the extremist leader. And what are the revolutionary? They said that we have to take arms to rebel against the such a cruel government, okay. So there are different phases of national movement based on the different transition phases, okay. So that's why we are classifying the stages into the period of that national movement into different phases, like मॉडरेट फेज, एक्सट्रीमिस्ट फेज, गांधीयन फेज। गांधीयन फेज क्या होता है? जब गांधी जी आए, उन्होंने सत्याग्रह दिया, एक नया वेपन दिया to fight against the illegitimate rule of British. So that is a new weapon to fight against the British rule. Okay, so that's why Gandhian phase is important in our national movement. Then there is a revolutionary phase. Means what? There are many revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev, Rajguru, Surya Sen, and many more. So they take weapons in their hand to establish their own rule or the Swaraj. Okay, so that's why we are observing the different transitions in national movements also. So that we have to study properly to narrate the history. That is the main focus of this Michael Foucault. So he focused on transition to understand the historical truth. Okay, and this method he called as a archaeology of knowledge. Okay, so based on such a transition, based on such a transitional knowledge, we have to derive or narrate the history. So that is main thing narrated by this Michael Foucault. Okay, Foucault subjected the so far unacknowledged areas of historians such as the psychological disorder, science of medicine, prisoners, prison administration, etc. to historical analysis. So he also focused on the psychological disorder. Okay, कोई भी साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर होता है तो उनकी ज़्यादा स्टडी नहीं की जाती। अभी भी देखो, जो भी लोग थोड़ा सा साइकोलॉजिकली डिस्टर्ब होते हैं तो उनके बारे में हम ज़्यादा स्टडी नहीं करते। उनकी मानसिक कंडीशन जो भी हो उसके बारे में हम ज़्यादा एम्पैथी दिखाते नहीं है, ओके। लेकिन वो एम्पैथी दिखाना, उनके बारे में, उनके साइकोलॉजी के बारे में स्टडी करना बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है टू मेंटेन द सोशल हेल्थ ऑफ सोसाइटी और द इमोशनल हेल्थ ऑफ सोसाइटी इन वेल मैनर, ओके। So that is also important. So he also focused on the physical disorder, sorry, psychological disorder, science of medicine. You might have heard about the Unani, Siddha, then there is homeopathy or the Ayurveda. Okay, so all these are the branches of different medicine. Okay, Sogora medicine, they are practiced in Ladakh. Okay, or the some part of Tibet also. Remember this different name. Then prison administration. Okay, जो भी कैदी लोग थे या जो भी प्रिजनर्स थे उनका एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैसा था, किस तरह से उनको ट्रीट किया जाता था। Okay, so that is also important to narrate the history of particular era. So ऑल दिस थिंग्स टोल्ड बाय फोकल्ट। आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ। आपने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के ऊपर अलग अलग बुक्स पढ़े होंगे, नहीं पढ़े तो जरूर पढ़ना। सो उन बुक्स में एक रेफरेंस मिलता है कि कैसे छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज उनके जेल में जो भी प्रिजनर थे उनका स्किल डेवलपमेंट करते थे, ताकि जब भी वो प्रिजनर्स रिलीज हो प्रिजन से, वो फिर से क्राइम ना करे, वो कुछ अच्छी लाइफ की तरफ आगे बढ़े और खुद का जीवन व्यापन या खुद की उपजीविका वो चला सके। दे कैन बी एम्प्लॉयबल आफ्टर दे रिलीज फ्रॉम द जेल, ओके। सो दे यूज टू enhance their skills in द प्रिजन्स वाइल दे आर इन प्रिजन, ओके। सो वो उनके ऐसे काम करवाते थे जो कि स्वराज के लिए एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव होते थे, और वो प्रिजनर्स का भी स्किल एनहांस होता था। सपोज कोई फोर्ट बनवाना है तो उस फोर्ट के ऊपर उन प्रिजनर्स को लगा देते थे, वो फोर्ट बंदा बिल्ड करने का काम वो लोग करते थे, तो उनकी स्किल भी एनहांस होती थी, कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता था, फोर्ट भी बन जाता था, ओके। और वो जो प्रिजन का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है वो भी अच्छा रह पाता था, ओके। सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी शुड हैव टू स्टडी अंडर द historiography. This is the basically the objective of this Michael Foucault, okay. So remember about all these scholars. So in this way we have completed all the scholars over here. So thus the scope of historiography kept continuously expanding, okay, as we are exploring the history, as we are exploring the history through different conceptual frameworks. The continuous expansion of this historiography subject is taking place in today's era also. Writing of histories of various subjects like literature, architecture, sculpture, drawings and paintings, then music, dance, drama, films, television, etc. came into practice, okay। पहले क्या होता था कि सब जो भी हिस्टोरिकल इवेंट्स होते थे, किस राजा ने किसके साथ फाइट किया, किसके बाद कौन जन्मा, कौन सी डायनेस्टी आई, सब इसके बारे में चर्चा कर रहे थे हिस्ट्री नैरेटिव में, ओके। लेकिन अब क्या होता है कि जब भी हम हिस्ट्री पढ़ते हैं तो उसमें अलग अलग लिटरेचर कौन सा था उस जमाने में, आर्किटेक्चर कैसा था उसका, स्कल्पचर कैसा था, ड्राइंग एंड पेंटिंग के फील्ड में क्या प्रगति उस जमाने में हुई थी, म्यूजिक कितना डेवलप था, डांस ड्रामा कौन से प्रिवेलेंट थे, कौन सी फिल्म्स या टेलीविजन की डेवलपमेंट उस जमाने में हुई थी या नहीं हुई थी, कौन कौन से कम्युनिकेशन के मोड थे। तो ये सारी चीजें हम डिस्कस करते हैं। ओके, so that came into practice in modern historiography, so remember this thing. Okay, so I hope guys it is clear to you about the modern historiography and the tradition of historiography, the different scholars of historiography. So this is all about the development of historiography in the West. Okay, so we have discussed the entire chapter, entire different topics in this chapter by different example case studies. I hope you find this video series interesting. So do, so be tuned with this video session series. If you really enjoy the session, like it, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel so you will get the notification of upcoming video session on time. Okay guys, so in next video session we will discuss the exercise questions of this particular chapter. Till then, enjoy your study. Thank you for your attention and have a great day.